Okay, I talked a little bit about why I wrote books for my kids to talk about their adoptions and also how to make the books themselves. I want to talk a little bit about the benefits of having these books. We talked about this in both of the previous videos, but I wanted to just reiterate it. As I've said, my kids are 16, 18, and 20, so they're pretty well formed as to the people that they're going to be. And they all tell me how having this consistent story about how they joined our family always made them feel safe. They were able to look back at it and they always knew they were loved and they were wanted, even when we were mad at them. So even if you look at like my biological child, he didn't have any insecurities about the fact that he has another family out there somewhere. But particularly when they're teenagers, there's always going to be arguments. Oh, you missed curfew and mom and dad yelled at you. And they're able, even as teenagers, to look back at their books and know how much they were wanted and how much they're loved. So that was really important, particularly for my adopted kids, but even for my biological one. When they were insecure, and I know this happens a lot with adopted kids, where they'll start to question. My daughter is Asian. She doesn't look like me. She doesn't look like my husband. But she would question, do I belong in this family? And she would always go back to her book and say, oh, look, they looked all over to try to find me. They really, really wanted me. They also loved being able to share this story. Not so much now when they're older, but when they were little, they were proud of the fact that they were adopted. They were proud of the fact that we looked for them and we wanted them so much. They would frequently bring these books to show and tell, and it was great for them to be able to share maybe why kids might wonder why my daughter didn't look like her mom. But she was very proud of the story and was able to share it. We're able to share it now as well. It's been a great tool for me with my book and understanding my book and even referring back to, I wrote this at the time of her adoption. I'm writing this book 20 years later. So it's been great just to have this consistent story down on paper, hard copy. It's wonderful. It also really created a safe space for my kids to talk about their adoptions and ask any questions that they might have. Whenever they would have a question, frequently they would bring me the book and say, can we read my book, Mommy? And I'd say, sure. And we'd read the book and we'd get to the part about the birth mom, or we'd get to the part about traveling to go get them. And they could ask whatever questions they weren't sure about. As they got older, those answers changed. When my daughter asked me when she was a teenager, well, why could my birth mom not take care of me? We were able to talk more in depth about that. And this gave her a very safe and comfortable space that she was able to ask those questions because she knew, obviously, I made her this book. I'm okay talking about this. I'm okay and happy to answer any questions that she might have. So those are some of the benefits to having this physical copy for kids of the books. This is my daughter's, this is my third child's, my son Reese, and this is the middle one, Jamie. This is his book. So I am more than happy to answer any questions, help you come up with your story, answer questions about why this was such a great tool, or anything else you might want to ask. There is a video of me reading my daughter's book that's available on YouTube, and that link can be made available to you as well. So I hope that helps, and I wish you all the best.